was there the first day of my new job with an up-and-coming advertising company. I was hired a week prior as an sales account executive. I completed my training at the top of my class, and now the time had come for me to be let loose. I was to go out and canvass new customers, cold call. This was the early 90s. The internet just made its public debut with dial-up. Our phones were as big as tablets, and being in sales and advertising was just like the show Ad Men. I was the new hotshot. I was young, very attractive, intelligent, and highly sought after in this new emerging concept of using the female power to attract new customers, but there was one huge problem. A flaw in my design. I was clumsy and sometimes unable to tune into the environment around me. And I was unaware of a rare condition which I had causing my blood to not clot properly, causing all of the above problems. But nonetheless, my new advertising firm sent me out into the world to give it a try. I was to gather as many clients as possible to bring my company new clients and more money. I spent all week shopping for an appropriate outfit to wear. I bought all the things needed to look professional and be organized. The first day of my new exciting job finally came. I rose early for couldn't sleep, took a shower, made myself a nice breakfast, coffee, did my hair, makeup, nails, everything to perfection, then put on my brand new high-end business attire. At the time, the fashion was a one-piece jumpsuit. The top half was all black and the bottom half met the top half right under the bust line. It was all white, sleeveless. It was August, paired with a matching lightweight blazer, shoes to match. I gathered my briefcase, my car's keys, and headed out. As soon as I approached the on-ramp, I noticed traffic was built up as far as I could see. Already I forgot to take into account the amount of time it would take me to drive to my new job each morning. Suddenly, I felt a bit of the excitement for this day leave me and a feeling of, this is going to be a bad day starting to take on its own life form in my head. Now I'm getting nervous. I've got cars in front of me, cars behind me. I'm stuck in traffic. I need to be at the office in 15 minutes. It's my first day. I've got to be on time. As I sit waiting, out of the corner of my left eye, I think I see something on the ground moving, meandering and weaving through the stopped traffic. It's a stray dog, a lean, tall pit bull mix. Do I get out and help it? What if it's dangerous? Do I roll down my window and call to it to try and help it? Yes, I need to help it. I call out to the dog. It hears me. It starts to walk towards my truck. I say to it, "Hey buddy, you okay? You need help?" We lock eyes. At that very moment he runs forward, leaps forward, and onto the hood of my car. As to my windshield, barking his ass off, and just stands there. I'm like, what? What the hell? So I roll down my window to shoo him off my hood, and he starts barking violently at me, scaring me. So I roll up my window and scream, what the fuck? In the moment I exude this force of frustration and anger, I feel a warm liquid rush of fluid fill my underwear. I say to myself, this is not happening, no. Then I look down and yep, the whole crotch area begins to seep out bright red blood all over the front of my new white outfit. I panicked. I beep my horn. The dog jumps off my hood and makes it safely to the other side of the off-ramp. As I watch him get to safety, an opening in the traffic from the other drivers watching the dog becomes available. I'm taking it, and beknownst to me, someone called the state police while we were in traffic to inform them of the stray dog. Do I pull up and over trying to get off the next off-ramp, and what do I see and hear behind me? Police lights and a siren. The police are pulling me over. Wow, really? I'm beside myself now. I grab my blazer, throw it over my bloody lap, pull over onto the side of traffic, and I'm met with a very pissed-off state police officer. His first statement, "You cut me off. You almost caused an accident, and I'm pulling you over for dumping your dog on the highway." I'm like, what? First of all, it's not my dog. If you'll just calm down and allow me to explain, that did not go over well. What took place here? I will. Second of all, I have an emergency and need to get to a restroom ASAP, he says. What's the emergency? I say, it's personal. He gives me a 180 ticket for some made-up traffic violation and another $500 ticket, and a mandatory court hearing for the stray dog he claimed I dumped on the highway. In utter disbelief, still reeling from the events, I drive home, get to the front of my house, park the car, gather my briefcase, and head to the sidewalk. To enter the house, as I'm walking, the stress of what just took place hit me in the chest like a ton of bricks. Next thing I know, I hear voices and clinky metal noises. Someone calling out my name, Kimber, Kimber. I open my eyes to see I'm flat on my back. There are people standing and knelling over me. Strangely enough, the sky is a beautiful blue with no clouds. Then my focus focuses in on a firefighter. Then sound comes into play, and I realize something happened to me. I feel a breeze. I'm covered in a blanket, which is only half covering my body, and the bottom half of my outfit is missing. I said to myself, I know I put on a one-piece this morning. It zipped up the side. I only have on the to have. The firefighter, seeing the confusion on my face, addressed me, then proceeded to explain my current situation. It went something like this, Mom. We thought you were shot. We thought you suffered a gunshot wound to the upper thigh. You were laid out in your front yard. Your landlord found you. We cut off your clothes to get access to gunshot wound. We then realized that wasn't the case. We apologize, Mom. How are you feeling? I replied, humiliated, embarrassed. Then asked for a few extra blankets and a maxi pad, and laughed an uncontrollable laughter, from stress I'm sure. And as I was loaded into the ambulance, the process of answering the many questions as to how I ended up laid out in my front yard began. I explained how my day lead up to this point. We laughed all the way to the hospital. Stay tuned for the second half of my worst day ever.